Hey, everybody. Welcome to another amazing episode of Life Theories, where we get together and chat with you about our amazing theories about life, spirituality, growth, healing, and everything in between. Between the three and sometimes four of us, we've got some pretty awesome theories. We've got Jay from Journey of a Whitefeather down on for me, he's in the bottom. Got Diana over there from Blazers of the Universe, and me, Small Sarah Big Soul, jamming out with you today. So let's get into it. Today's topic is synchronicities. What do you guys
Tell us
got to
about
say
yours.
about my synchronicities? Well, uh, well, there's been a few. I've been, oh man, I almost don't even want to get into talking about it because they're very they're still flowing so much, and the more I feel like I talk about it, the more it almost like breaks the flow of it. But it's like it's really exciting. Some of the smaller things that aren't gonna like ruin it is this is a really weird one actually. I've always really wanted a French bulldog, but I can't take care of a dog like at all. Just with my arthritis and stuff, like bending down to like take care of dog duties and stuff like that is really hard for me to do. But I'm living in a space right now where my roommate is, he like takes care of people's dogs on this app called Rover. And for the next 2 weeks, like starting on Monday or Tuesday, I think, we're getting a French bulldog in the house. And I'm really freaking excited about it. And it's something that I've been thinking about a lot is like spending more time with dogs and like animals. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I hope you don't mind, but we're going to be housing a French bulldog for 2 weeks. I was like, yes.
Wow.
So that's pretty awesome. Like he could have gotten any type of dog whatsoever, but the first dog that he starts to like watch since I've been like staying with him happens to be a French bulldog. And it's awesome. I'm really excited about it. So yeah,
Fantastic. Hey, it's
it's not a big one. It's not like something big and crazy and life changing,
no, no,
but
no, no. But this is where the life's going. It's like that super moon that happened on my birthday. Would you believe?
mm,
And yeah, that was that. Everything's coming forward. Like I hated it. I hated my birthday. I really, yeah. Like it's basically because I had so many bad experiences. But then I guess going through what we've gone through now, and with the people in my life that I've got, and the people who actually give a crap. I went to our band practice the other day when we said ourselves, but I just told them, I go, oh, great, good. They got a cake and everything. I thought, that's nice, it's nice when you have great people. Like I get up at obviously it's 6 o'clock here, and I think it's a bit of a struggle for 5:30. I don't really feel it because we have fun here. Um, and I think everything's sort of just changing for the better, Just oh, I just feel the flow and the movement, really big movement coming through, and then synchronicities come through with, you know, all those things that we've been talking about and been working on. It's just slowly coming into place, and I knew that would happen after the 48th birthday. I knew from when my daughter was younger, 48 was that just do the work until 48. I know it was bloody frustrating, but this is the way it was, and I think it's all starting to happen. So yeah, that's good.
you're
What about you,
48,
Di?
right?
What's going on? What's going on in your universe back in over zillions of galaxies away? It looks like, and we've got your voice
I thought
back,
I thought
and
I
we've got your
was
voice back.
yeah, and it looks like the microphone is recording, which is good. I'm gonna keep eye on it though. Yeah, just I've just been really working on kind of keeping myself more grounded, with everything that's been going on. I'm actually making a video right now. I'm actually editing it. On doing that. Because just with everything that's going on, it's easy. Like I'm just noticing, it's easy to get really distracted. It's easy to get caught up in a lot of things, and I have trouble even on social media. Getting grounded also means I got to get off there because that's in like the virtual world, right? That's in all the
Oh, dude.
craziness, and it gets addictive, right? Even though there's no drama going on in my life right now, I easily can get sucked in. I'll be a lot of these spiritual groups, even that group you sent me on Telegram, like stuff for that. There's a lot of rabbit
Well,
holes
that
to go
one's
down.
insane, man. I take that in small doses. That's just for
Yeah,
like
I
when you
can't
want to
really
get into
look at.
wacky shit.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
look at a lot of that. So I mean, and for me, I have to remember. I think it goes with the addiction thing a little bit. Sometimes I like to be a little more stimulation than most people. So but I can overstimulate. Like then I download like a video game. Like I got a Steam account, right? Because I wanted some hobbies. I'm trying to save more money, not do things as much. So then I started getting addicted to this game. And I'm like, oh, it's more stimulating. It's all this virtual stuff. And I was starting to get a headache from, like, doing all this stuff. And then I'm not even focused on my videos and other stuff. And it's good to have a balance, right? And there's nothing wrong with having fun, enjoying myself. I'm working with stuff with, like, the sacral chakra and stuff. Because I've told Sarah before, I'm either one way or I'm either super driven and, like, all work, almost no play. Just, like, I'm in the mood to be productive, do a bunch of things. Or I'm the complete opposite. And I'm all the way over, like, oh, I want to eat. I want to go here and have fun, and I'm about, more pleasure and, like, having fun, and then I don't want to do anything. So it's always extreme, like, for me. I'm not very good on balancing, and then I burn myself out either way. So at first I work too much, then I burn myself out, and then I go have fun too much, and then I burn myself out, or then I don't want to do shit. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to find a way to balance. I'm just, and it goes with the addiction stuff, too, kind of. The behaviors I did things were up and down all the time, and it's just the roller coaster. And that's my pattern with the relationships too. I'm all in. I'm with the person all the time, and then I get sick of it. I want to see them for a while. See what I'm saying? But this is a pattern, and I don't know how to be content. Just like do a little bit here. Okay, I could be somewhat productive and then also have fun. No, I'm like all the way this way and then all the way that way, and I'm having trouble like balancing that.
Okay, I'm gonna butt in there. If I showed you the list of stuff that I've got to do, I looked at it. I think it was about 6 months ago. Was it 6 months? Yeah, or whatever it may be. And I've looked at it and I've gone. I think it was just before I got into the Billy Idol band. I've just gone another thing. And I'm going shit. But I was like you. But I used to go flat out. Then I used to crash. But what I've done now is I've accepted the timeline and gone with the flow. When it comes into my mind what I've got to do, I just do it without stressing about it, because then you get to a point where you do too much for your businesses and stuff, and then you get mentally tired.
Yeah.
I found, so what I've done is I found it's a lot easier now. I don't get stressed about it. I go, yeah, once I accepted the law of going with the flow, and just going, right, I've got to do this now. Right, done. I've got to do this now. Right. If I've got schoolwork to do, yes, I've got to go and do that. I think that's why it goes. And then when it comes to hobbies, I guess my hobbies have turned into sort of outside, not just hobbies, but, I guess I do it as a business, not a business, but you do it. I'm actually doing it now. So, yeah. So I think that might be the way to go, maybe, just have I say writing down a list is really good. Do you do lists?
Sometimes if it's stuff that's like, I'll start off having like a planner or something. I had it and then it goes on the floor. It just disappears. Doesn't get open for months. So sometimes I just have like a little, what's called like sticky note or something. So it's not, hey, I know I'm good at completing the task. That's not the problem. It's just like balancing the fun and the task. Like I'm just very extreme, and I think I kind of like whether it's a rush or the dope. I think it's probably the dopamine stuff, right? In my brain, maybe I still have a slight imbalance from, the past and stuff. So,
Yep.
It's cool. I just need to find, hey, why don't I can do a little bit of work, then I can go relax, blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, oh, I'm going full force to this, then I'm burnt out, and now I have to relax and have fun because I've went so far, and like, yeah.
See, I do this. So I've got this paper, a simple exercise book on what I'm doing. That's it. So I just write down, even with my fitness and my fasting that I've been doing, I write it down, as part of it. I mean, it's something simple. I mean, it's stupid, but I found that, So I write. So I've got to practice bass, but the 2 songs. I'm only doing 2 songs. I'm writing that down so I can tick it off. And, So I do that, and I found that especially over the holidays when like obviously school teachers get 2 weeks off here, and that's when you can get back to life. And I wrote down all these things. I got them all done, but I just had to accept that, just go with the flow.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I did. I didn't stress too much about go, oh, geez, I got to do this, I got to do this. It actually comes to you if you actually write that list down, and write down, even if it's 30 things that's sort of like a priority, like do video, do this. And then you can say, then that's your overall list. And I've got that up on my wall. I just put it up there, but then I can do my daily lists. What do you think, gangster?
Yo. So two things I was going to say, actually. Before I got the thing I'm going to talk about after, which actually costs a little bit of money, but is like changing my life incredibly, like the flow is just becoming awesome. Same with my roommate too, who's like really, really like having trouble with like time management and stuff. Like thing I'm going to mention after is like cost money, but it's like definitely freaking worth it. But if you don't want to spend money on like organizational apps and things like that, one of the things that I do, like, because iPhone has the ability to set multiple different alarms during the day, and you can name the alarm. So what I do is like, I'll set an alarm for like 1 p.m. and that's like make lunch, so that I know like when it goes off, I'm stopping what I'm doing and I'm making time to like make my lunch. And then like 2 hours later, like an hour later, like, around the time I'm going to be done my lunch, I'll like set a timer for like the next thing that I have to do. And that way it kind of like keeps me on track, right? So I don't get too carried away and too into something. So that's what I was doing before, and it really helped me out a lot. I also had a little like journal called the Pomodoro Technique journal, and it tells you like, you write down like your 3 most important tasks of the day, your 2 secondary most important tasks of the day, and then like what to do when those get done. And then it lots out like 25-minute time chunks, right? So like you write out like, okay, this should take me 3 25-minute time chunks. And if it takes you more than 5, you're supposed to just stop doing it for the day. So if you have to go back to it like 25 minutes 5 times in one day, that's it. Like move on to something else if you've like done your 25-minute time chunks. So the Pomodoro technique is really good for like keeping you on track as well. But that's like more of a journaling thing. Like they have Pomodoro schedulers that you can try out. And then the really expensive thing that me and my roommate just split on for like our business stuff, it's an app called Motion, and it's pretty new. And it's like an AI scheduler. And you basically like, you program your whole day into it. So like you program when you want your sleep to happen. You program like when you have specific things that are like weekly occurring tasks and stuff. And then you put in all of the things you have to do, and like when the deadline is, and how, like if it's a hard deadline or a soft deadline. And then it like robotically just puts all of your tasks and sets up your entire day for you. And then like you can just click on your task button and it just shows you all the things you have to do in that day. Or you can go in the calendar and it shows you like your whole day laid out for you with like your appointments and your events and like all your tasks. It's probably the coolest app I've ever used for like keeping myself on track. Motion. Yeah. It's really, really good. It's like, it's pretty new too. Like the guy that created it, I think he said he was like neurodivergent and like ADHD and like having a really hard time like managing his time. So he created this thing, and it's like, it's brilliant. Like I'm just gonna like blast this everywhere. It's freaking brilliant. If you have trouble like with your time management, staying on track with shit, getting your stuff together, try Motion. It is a little bit expensive for the year, but your time is money and your time is everything. So for me, it's been really worth it. And because you can add teammates too. So if you want to split it with a friend, you can split it and like become each other's teammates, and you can see what each other are doing and like make sure your schedules don't interfere with each other and shit like that. So it's pretty cool. It's an awesome app.
That's interesting.
And then a little bit cheaper of an option is a Pomodoro journal, or totally free is the little beepy thing on your phone. Just set different alarms during the day with different things. So, why is it beeping at me? Oh, time for lunch. Oh, time to go to my meeting. Oh, time to like put this down and work on a hobby. And like,
it's so much easier because you with our brains, the way they work, and so much shit happening. I've got to remember this, got to remember that. As I said, just for me, simply just writing down, but also accepting the timeline of what you got to do. Yeah. Things will come into my head. Like, as I said, last week I focused in on the book I'm writing for my phys ed book. And I got what I needed to do. And when you look at it logically, it doesn't take long to do. I mean, obviously the videos do and stuff, but that's fine. But the other thing is you have to sort of accept when you have to sit down and do nothing.
I think I have no problem doing the tasks. Yeah, it's like, oh, I need to take a break. Oh, let's watch a movie or something. Just take a step away from this, or play my game. Now I started playing a game, but then I started playing it too long, and I was like addicted to that. And it's like a cool horror movie game called like Query or whatever, and you make different choices, and they have different. It's really cool game actually. But even to me, it was hard for me to get off of here then. And even then, I was like, I need to edit my video. But then I was like, but when I'm in the mood to edit, then I'll probably do that and do the thumbnail and do all that. But to see, I don't know how to step away. Once I start doing something, it doesn't matter what it is. It's hard for me to like step away from it.
Yeah. What I was noticing too is like ever since my roommate and I started using this app together and like really checking out like, what's going on with his business, what's going on with my business, and like really working together on like the flow of the house and stuff, like the synchronicities between him and I have been just like flowing. Like he'll say something and then all of a sudden, like an hour later, it'll just pop up in my life. And it's just like little things just keep flowing. And like, we just keep getting presented with these amazing little like opportunities. And it's like, it wasn't happening before because we were so scattered and we weren't in a good flow state with our own time management. Mm-hmm. And now that we've really like gotten into a flow of like, these are the things that I need to do, and we're staying on top of it, the universe is kind of rewarding us with all these cool little things. And like, there's something going on. I won't get it too much into the detail of it because I don't want to like throw anything off, but there's some stuff going on with our living situation right now. And it's been really stressful, and we're not really like, we have no idea like what's going on. And our neighbor just sold her house, and she approached us with a really cool opportunity, and like not even knowing that we're going through the stuff that we're going through with our landlord. And she just kind of approached us. She's like, hey, so I just sold my house and I'm looking to invest, and I like what you guys are doing. Would you guys be interested in potentially like, if I were to buy another property, would you guys want to get in there with your business? And so she's like, oh, wow, offering up like all this stuff. And it's like, she didn't have to offer us that, but it's like, because she sees that we're like in our flow now, she's like, hey man, you're the people I want to invest in. So it's like, it's pretty awesome. And like, yeah, man, even last night, like, my roommate and I had a bunch of his friends over. They're my friends too, but, they're like a little bit tighter with him, to like do hobbying and like plastic model kit building and stuff. And like we did a live stream together like on his TikTok, because he just hit 1,000. So we were like celebrating and getting creative and crafty. And like we both smoke hash for like our medical issues as well. And our hash guy came right before we started doing our live stream, and we're all outside, like some of them are having cigarettes, but we're just like enjoying the fresh air, smoking and talking. And one of the guys that was over for build night end up like, the hash guy walks up like through the property, and he's just like, oh, hey. And then Jeremy, one of the guys that was over, is like, what are you doing here? He's like, what are you doing here? Our hash guy actually knows the guy that like was over for building, and they used to work together at the same dispensary. And it turns out we met Jeremy like 8 years ago in the hash shop, and we didn't even put it together. And now my roommate is like, sponsoring him on the build team and stuff like that. And it's like, and for the longest time, we didn't even put the two together that we had met Jeremy like 8 years ago when he was selling us hash at this like actual shop they used to run. So it was like, it was pretty fucking awesome. Wow. Like, and then we ended up all just chatting last night for like probably about an hour and a half before, like, usually he just comes and like does the delivery and leaves. But like, he's like, oh, Jeremy. And they like chatted for so long. And then we got to talking about, well, we might potentially be moving the business because our neighbor just, offered us this amazing thing, and our landlord's being kind of weird. And he just was like, oh, if you guys need help moving, we'll just get the whole delivery team and we'll just like come and help you move. So it's just like, what? Like, we were stressing about like how we going to afford like paying for movers and all this stuff. And now we've got a team of like 6 people plus all of the build guys that were over last night that are just like, yeah, we'll help. And it's like, how did that happen? Like, and it's just
this supermoon's
like,
been huge. This supermoon's huge. It's
we're just all
these things are coming to us. All these things, what you just said, all these things are coming to us. It's amazing.
Yeah. There's just so many connections, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I just noticed, like, when you're more in alignment, like, everything just, like, like, when you're following the direction, so it's a big difference, right? Like, for instance, my addiction stuff, right? I was not, there was roadblocks, and it kept directing me, like, towards a certain direction, and I still kept going and didn't give a shit, whatever, it kept going, whatever, but once I started taking steps in this direction, which is like, I'm not saying YouTube is my purpose, but inspiring people, helping people is through whatever platform, through whatever method, where it's coaching, YouTube, I know it's that direction. So once I started finally doing stuff in that direction, which I want to do my whole life pretty much, then everything flows and you keep meeting people and like, and it's just like people that have helped improve my channel, gave me different ideas, and like even how I found the full-time purpose group, like it's like what they say with, I think, I don't know if it was Abraham Hicks, I forgot who said, but she says once you, or maybe it wasn't her, it was someone else, I listen to a lot of manifestation channels over the years, but like once you make a decision, once you actually make the decision, say, this is what we're doing, or this is what I'm doing, or whatever, it's like, and it's aligned with like your purpose. I think maybe it's Ralph Smart says like the universe conspires to make everything happen. Like literally everything is like, oh, here. It's like the resources show up. Even for me, when I wanted to go to rehab, when I finally said I'm done with this life, I need to get help. All of a sudden, I got a rehab for free for 4 months. I found a program where it was really crazy. It was like a really good program. It was holistic too, right? Because the holistic was in alignment with what I'm doing on my channel and stuff, right? Because that, you see what I'm saying? That opened up. It was crazy. I had to wait a little bit, but that's an example. And just ever since and then the full-time purpose group came up, right? That's what really started me with the YouTube channel. It's like everything. And then now, who knows what's next? I don't even know what's next. And then even the groups I find on Facebook, there's something that inspires me, even for a business idea. Even if I'm not doing it right this second, I'm starting to take steps, like, or it's like, and the universe is like verifying. It's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right, I'll go this way. I guess I'll keep going. And it's all going to work out. And then even when I would worry about finances for whatever, if it's something to do with my business or something, it all of a sudden appears. Like, I randomly got a bonus at work for like $5,000, like, for no, well, they're giving half. It's like also a retainer agreement if I stay 6 months. Well, I'm going to stay anyway, but so I just got half of it and it came out of nowhere because I was thinking like, oh, I just spent all this money on my computer for my YouTube, because I have a credit card and stuff, so I like put stuff on there and I was like, oh man, I'm starting to catch up on my finances now. I have a little bit of things, I have some things I have to pay off, but the universe like, yo, here, keep doing what you're doing. Like, every time I start to work, it's so weird. Like, that came out. No, I never get a bonus at work. I just started this job not too long ago, like earlier this year, but it just showed an example of like how, I don't know, it just like everything, the resources show up, whether it's money, whether it's the person or the person that inspires you, or even like you with the thing with Eddie, right? The mediumship and all, even that was kind of random, and some of the things I need to work on, and like, even things and when I finally decide I'm trying to improve my health and stuff, right? Like every time I'm trying to take a step that's more in alignment, the resource appears or the person appears, or like it just whatever is needed at the time. It's like, and also I know the Veilist thing, right? We're with the 5D conscious, everything manifests quickly. It's like, yo, here it is. And even my job I have right now, because the first thing I said with it, I interviewed for a bunch of jobs. When I sat at home after I went to rehab, I was at Ryan, the guy I was dating, right? I was sitting there for like 6 months. And I was like, man, I was like, this job would be really good with my YouTube channel. This is the job I got right away after just one Zoom interview. Out of all the jobs I applied for, this was the only one I was like, man, I think this seems like a chill. The energy seems good. The manager, I was like, I think I could do this on my YouTube channel. I got it like right after that, and I've been looking for months. You know, it's crazy, right? Talk about synchronicity. That's all tied in. Yeah.
It's a case of when people ask, when you really accept what you do, like you said, like with your addiction, I'm going to get over it, then these things come. I think you have to really, the word is truly believe what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I do believe fully that the universe, when you go through these, whether it be a spiritual awakening or however you want to put it, I think the key thing you said is when we're actually getting back into our alignment, we're actually not forcing it. But, you know, we always want, I've always wanted certain things, but I had to get myself into alignment, which I'm doing. And then suddenly, I mean, I'm the same. I look at it and go, geez, all this stuff that's happening. Holy shit. And then the old you will go, hang on, can I do this? Of course you can. You know what I mean? This is what you're supposed to be doing. Like your purpose is, like I always make the joke of the bat belt of gifts that I've got. You know, I've got a belt with gifts, and my purpose is the gifts that I've been given to give people, to help people. That's it. So that could be like, you know, whether it be for music, I'm playing music, but my energy on stage is going to make them happy. So if they're sort of like depressed or whatever it may be, or want to get away from their life, me being a friggin' idiot on stage is going to give them that joy. So your healing stuff, your videos, which is out my journey, which I've done, you know, the shadow warrior stuff that I've done, that can help someone. So everything I'm going through and what I'm doing, even though I love it, has a purpose to help other people in the community, like what we're doing right now. It's all meant to happen. You're dead. Diana's right. This is all divine timing, and everything was supposed to happen the way it was, especially the full-time purpose stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
And we've got Gangster down there. What about Gangster?
Yeah, man. Like,
man.
I really want to talk about this one thing, but I'm like, I don't want to jinx what's going on right now. It's so good. So you talk about a little bit of it because like it goes in so well with what we're talking about. So the other day I posted a video, and like I don't really post very many videos like without you guys, and like even editing these, like I'm so behind on it. Like I love doing the videos, but when it comes to like actually editing it and putting it out, I don't know what my problem is. Like I gotta get over.
Well, just we can send out copies. You can just put it on your channel. Be easy.
Yeah, that works too, man. Whatever. But like, I actually do like the editing process, and I do actually like doing it. I keep getting distracted with other things that are going on in my life, and I'm like, oh, that takes time. I need to like focus on it. So I just keep kind of like putting it back. When I do it, there's going to be so much freaking content being blasted out at everybody. But part of this actually is about me using my voice. And I started like meditating on it and trying to figure out like, what is it that I'm not putting this content out? And it's like, I guess I have, I'm still working on, my buddy Mikey called me out on this, and shout out to you, Mikey. He called me after he watched my video on arthritis tips. And he's like, what do you know about imposter syndrome? I'm like, why are you asking me about imposter syndrome? And he's like, well, because I think you need to talk about it. And I'm just like, okay, fine.
What's it called? Sorry.
So we had to talk about it, and he was right. And
imposter syndrome. It's like kind of, well, you can explain it.
Imposter syndrome is, it's when you've got a lot of good stuff to say. You've got talent. You've got it, but you yourself are feeling so afraid and unworthy of that. And you feel like you're an imposter in that, even though you're really good, you're really talented. So say you're a bassist, right?
Yeah.
Like you can say like people around you could be like, man, you're so good. But in your head, it's like, I'm nothing. I'm not good. I could be better. And like that constant feeling of like, there's always going to be someone better than me. Or like, do people really need to hear my voice? Like, you know, like, do people really need to see my talent on this stage. It's like when you feel like you know you've got a talent, but it's like people don't need to see my shit. I'm nothing special. And it's like you just feel like you're not actually that thing that you're being. Like,
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, cool.
It's for me, it's like I know I'm a healer, I know I'm a speaker, I know I'm all of these things, but when I go to do it, there's a part of me that's like, maybe you're not ready, maybe you're not good enough, maybe there's someone better that can say this message, let them say it. Like, there's already other people saying it, why do people need to hear my voice? Like, that kind of thing, right? And it's like, I thought I was over that, but as it turns out, Mikey called me on it. I still got some stuff to work on, but putting that video out helped me kind of step out of my shell. And when I put the video out, I put it out with the intention of, I'm going to use my voice and I'm going to share information that people need to hear. And I used my voice, I shared the information, and a lot of people suffer from arthritis, right? Like, you don't have to be spiritual to vibe on that content, right? If you suffer from pain and inflammation, it doesn't even have to be arthritis. You could make use of what I said in my video, right? So I did that. And then I just kind of ignored it. I didn't pay attention to it for a good 12 hours. And then I looked at it right before I went to bed. And it was at over 600 plays. And I had a bunch of people follow me from that video. I had a bunch of people like it. And I had 6 people private message me telling me how soothing my voice was and different variations of, you should get into voice acting. You should probably read for audiobooks. You have such a soothing voice. You need to be a speaker. I could listen to you talk all day. And I put the video out with the intention of, I'm going to share my voice. And then I got all these compliments on how good my voice was, right? And then ever since I was a little kid, I've always kind of wanted to get into voice acting and voiceovers and reading for cartoons and stuff. I always thought that would be a lot of fun. And I just kind of was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to make a leap. I'm going to do something about this. So I started looking up a bunch of different auditions. And I was like, I got a little bit nervous. And then I messaged my friend who's actually a voice actor and an actor. He's in his 30s, but he plays he's small like me. So he plays a bunch of children's roles and stuff. It's pretty awesome. So I called him up and I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about getting into this. He's like, you'd be great for it. I'm a voice coach. If you don't want to leap into school just yet, he's like, hit me up. He's like, I'll give you some training. He's like, you're on disability. Here's the number to contact for the disabled actors, the Disabled Actors Union. He's like, get in it, call them Monday. We're really looking for people right now. He's like, you'd be fucking great for this. He's like, just call this number on Monday. And he's like, and let me know if you want trainings on the weekends. And I was like, wow, okay, that's fucking awesome. So I put out this one video and didn't even think about it. And then it just turned into me opening up a dream of mine that I kind of had on the back burner for years, right?
Excuse me.
Going into, actually making something happen for myself that I didn't think was possible. And all it took was me making a video with an intention of using my voice to open that up for me. So
do you think, do you think it was timing? I'm always now, I think that we have to work on ourselves to get to that point, and then the lessons we have learned, then that opportunity comes for us. The universe says now it's time, and we sort of get that little bit of a push. Do you think that was? Do you think that's? Yeah. Do you think that's what? Because would you have done? Okay, I'll put it this way.
What happened?
You wouldn't have done it 6 months ago. Let's put it that way.
I wouldn't have done it 6 months ago. And here's
that's
the thing.
What I mean. Yeah.
To be able to have a job like this, and doing voice acting and stuff, you need some kind of discipline, right? You need to have your scheduling on track. You need to be able to do that. Not only that, some of these gigs I was researching it, it's some of them get paid $500 an hour. And it's that's pretty good money. And where I was at before, I wouldn't be able to handle that much money. Getting paid that much an hour. from where I was now. Like I needed to work myself up to the
Yeah.
discipline
Yeah.
to be able to
Yeah.
like not only handle the scheduling of the job, but the potential payout of what this job could be. Like I wasn't in a place to handle that kind of pay before. I would have
Got
fucked
one
it
for
up.
you. Got
So
one for you.
it,
Here you go. Keep going. Sorry, I'll go through
yeah,
that
yeah.
in a minute. I've got one that's just come to me.
Yeah, no, I want to hear it because, like, yeah, it was pretty much done, but it was basically just so, like, I was not in a position to be able to handle all of this. But finally, I was like, you know what, I'm going to use my voice, and then it opened up this, and he's like, hey, there's lots of opportunity for you out here right now because we need people, and here's a way to use your voice. And now I feel like I'm in a place where I'd be able to handle a good paycheck. I'd be able to handle the timing and the like, waking up early to like go to a gig if I have to, and like doing these things, right? Like I can actually do the things that this job would entail. Whereas if you asked me 6 months ago, I would have been like, oh, no, I got too much going on, and I wouldn't have been able to handle it. So definitely happy with these synchronicities and the universe just like giving me this when I was ready for it,
It's kind of like I made that video where I talk about where are you emotionally ready for your manifestation, right? It's kind of, it all goes together. But it's like it's steps. So that's why I say, we want the instant gratification on things, right? But it's true. Would you be emotionally ready? Even 6 months ago, I couldn't even done when I do my YouTube channel. Well, I guess now it's been more insane. But okay, I'll say a year ago, right? I had to get my mind right and make sure I have the discipline and, done a little bit of emotional healing, stuff like that, so I can handle my emotions when they come up. So, because, before I got tuned into my emotions and stuff, anxiety, I wouldn't have been able to discipline myself to make videos and stuff. Now I have a little more of a schedule. It's not an exact schedule, but it's definitely more consistent. I could never have done that before, and even the same with money too, right? Just finally starting to learn manage my money better, and I'm making sure I'm better with that before I move out, which hopefully be by the end of the year. But I'm making sure I'm good right now. Can I handle how my, so I have like a budgeting app now and stuff like that shows me how much I spend. It's really good actually, called Mint. But yeah.
What's it called?
Okay, the one
it's called Mint. So it's good. So I put so I even put like, hey, I'm trying to save this much to move out, right? So it tells me how much I have towards the goal. It gives you a net worth. Don't look at your net worth. It's probably a better idea on that. But what it does do, I put like, hey, what's my monthly budget? You can even do weekly, monthly, weekly for groceries, for restaurants, for Amazon, whatever the hell I'm doing, and even fitness. Obviously there's some things I'll budget more than others. Then it was a huge awareness. I was like, dude, I had no idea I was spending this much on, and gas, I can't do anything about the gas for the price is ridiculous, but it's really gave me an awareness. So now before, and it gives you alerts when you go over the amount, right? I mean, you can change it, of course, but it's just an awareness of it. And I was like, holy That's shit. Good. So I got rid of like some stupid memberships I've had, all these little things, right? It could be like Netflix, it could be, I was doing this Orange Theory, I had to leave the Orange Theory, I was paying $150 a month I was like, for what? I'm not even going. I was like, these things, I say it's only $20, only $30, only adds up when you have a bunch of onlys.
It only adds up to $400, and you're like, shit, what the fuck am I spending my money on?
So it gave me a good awareness, and that app has really helped me, and now I'm actually able to save, because now, before I even go to that restaurant, before I go there, I'm not saying I don't have any fun, but I'm kind of like, do I really need to? I just bought groceries, you know what I mean? So it made me take a step back and realize, and, as someone that had addiction issues, it kind of went over into spending. Well, I've always been kind of a big spender. I mean, I have no problem making money, but it goes out very quickly. And so I don't know. That's like
I'm like a pro at spending money. I don't know how I freaking do it. Like,
I go the other way. I go the other way. So I keep going.
Lucky, man. I wish I had the fucking discipline. I can't even, like, if you show me two products that are exactly identical and you tell me to pick one and say one is like a really, really good designer knockoff and the other one is like the real thing, and one's like $50 and the other's 5,000. I don't know what it is about me, man. It does not matter. You can take two things, like even like an almond butter, and put like almond butters in a jar, one like with no label and like both with no labels, and I will always pick the most expensive one. It is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what why I gravitate towards that, but I can't seem to help it. Like when I'm given an option, like I will always want the more expensive thing first, even if I don't know what the price is. Something about me just magnetizes to the more expensive thing. It is frustrating. Like I wish I could change it.
I had
Yeah.
I've gone the other way. Excuse me, because I've worked so hard for the last 20 years and struggled, not struggled. I won't say I struggled, but it didn't come easy. So I hold on to a lot of it. Like I'm always wondering, oh, will I ever, I have to have something for a rainy day. But I took that to the extreme. Now I've started backing off a little bit and say, look, you're okay. You've learnt the lesson of good financial status or good financial whatever you want to call it, good financial, whatever you want to call it. Now I can actually say, look, if I need to get something, I'll get something because you're not going to lose. You got rid of that belief of I don't have enough or all that stuff where you can actually go and get something, not saying you're going to lose money or anything like that, or you're not going to have enough at the end. So I had to go the other way because I've always had to sort of save and all that kind of stuff. I've gone the other way. I'm okay now. I'm good I'm good at financials. And my mate said to me, he went and loaned $5,000 to go to us. He's got nothing compared to what I've got, and he still had to go and get a loan for $5,000. I go, how the hell are you doing this? And then I look at it and gone, and then I go, well, how can he do it? But then I go to myself, you're good at saving, you're good at your financials. You can have these little things. It's not going to break the bank, and you've got to live the way you got to live. You got to believe that And I've started to come the other way, just come out of my shell a little bit more. Not that and people look at the stuff I've got and they go, geez, you spend a lot of money. I go, no, I work hard for that. And I actually got a bank where I pull a little bit of money out every so often. And it's been easier than I've got the job now. But still, I don't go, I could easily pull money that I've got saved and go and buy everything I need. I don't do that. I actually pay things off and stuff. But then I go to the next stage and go, I wouldn't mind that small thing. Yep, go get it. But I don't go overboard. But it's a case of letting the chains go and go, you're going to be all right. It's okay to have these little things. You're not going out and spending $5,000 on grog or whatever it may be. You're doing something small. You're still paying your bills and you're just trusting the universe and trusting yourself. But here's this one I was going to talk to you about, giving and receiving, accepting and receiving all forms of kindness, compliments, and financial reward at any level. So I write, today I am accepting of receiving, because receiving's hard for me, in all forms of kindness, compliments, financials, and financial reward at any level.
Yeah.
That's what I write every day.
That's a good.
And it's starting to come forth. And then receive, and I always say when you go the giving one, attracting and graciously accepting of every lesson. And what else one? Grateful for the things in my life. Also, the giving thing's not a problem. It's giving to yourself. So I say I always give to myself. The giving part's not a problem. It's actually looking that just comes naturally. So I just write down, today I am going to give to myself what I give to others. That's it.
Yeah.
So the receiving things, like you said about money and receiving. Now I find it easy to receive since I've been writing today. And that's today I am. That's your suggestion, Pixie. So today I am. I've done it. I've written a heap of affirmations. That everything's just changed, and it feels weird. You're like it's like you've come out of a cell and you're going, shit, hang on.
Yeah.
Fuck, where am I?
Yeah, man. It's like you're breaking out into like a whole new world. And
it's and I think the people you're attracting to, I connected with a couple of people, and you wouldn't think it, but then astrologically I could see why. We get on really, really well, and it's not like it's out of the blue, but you're sort of leaving those old behind. Like you guys are, it's like you guys come into my life. I mean, yeah, it's just really weird that you look at other people and you go, no, look, you're right. Not that I don't like you or anything. It's just the case I just don't have anything else to say to you. Whereas now, when we're together, it's great. It's just everything's changing for the better for us. I mean, look at the voiceover. Diana and her love of YouTube. Every time I turn, I go on the phone. Oh, there's Diana again. awesome.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you need to do.
I'm getting on a
following
schedule
your path.
now where I'm gonna do like 3 times a week, like certain days. I'm not going down to the time because that's too much of a restraint. But I'm trying to work because you know, my brother, he gives me a lot of tips from his you know, I'm glad that I got rid of that guy, right? The one that was working on my shit. That was just, I felt a lot better because I felt like my freedom, my creativity, everything was being like set, and I feel like it was kind of a scam anyway. But whatever. It's all good, but my brother gives me really good, you know, because you know they have like 10,000. I know he has, it's 10,000 subs. It's on IT. It's for his job, but he knows they have consultants coming there, so he knows, you know, and his boss even watches my channel. His boss like sees, because I pop up on their thing on their homepage, and it's like his boss. It's so weird. Like I would never thought that like. And even family members of mine, because I didn't realize, even though I don't post on my main Facebook, like the YouTube videos, right? Because I'm friends with family on Facebook, I'm posting in public groups, even though Trailblazer's not a public group, other groups, so they're seeing it. So like my aunt on my mom's side watch it, and she sent it to my mom to watch, because when my mom was struggling with all that stuff, she's doing a little bit better. I think she's stabilized herself, but she's awesome. Like, oh, why don't you watch Diana's video on this? I was like, my family member? I was like, this is creepy, man. This is starting to become weird. But I was like, we're trying to heal generational curse. I made a video on that, right? Heal generational trauma, and it's just a trip. And I was like, now if my dad ever watches my video, then the world's ending. Okay, if that ever happens.
Have you noticed we've gone into a semi-silence with society? I mean, we're talking, right? This just come to me. This is my messages that I get. It's hard to say that we've gone into our own silence from society, and we've become greater. And then, as you said, you've got people that you wouldn't expect to watch your videos.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't publicly tell people that I do all this stuff, and I'm not going to. I don't need to. I believe, like, we've got, Diana and I got the same theory, that people will come when they need it.
When I like that. I really like, when the student ready, the
that's right.
The teacher will find them.
Yeah, the teacher appears. Yeah.
Do you think we're technically? I think we've gone into a sort of like a semi-silence, a society semi-silence, if you know what I mean. Like we've stepped away from society and going into our little cave.
Yep.
To generate this great life. You know what I mean? Like, and then I got a lesson a couple of years ago when I was going through all my shit, and I was out there at this school I was at, you know, being a big bloke. You know, I'm a clown anyway, but it was coming from a different perspective. I had all the characteristics, but coming from a want to be liked perspective. Then when I backed right off, I was still the same person, but I'd stepped right away and kept away and in silence. And it was really weird that you're more visual when you're silent. You know what I mean? So it's probably what you're happening to you. You're going right into your stuff, and you're making this little community or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And the people who are going, fucking hang on a minute, what's going on here? Diana's doing this, or Jay's doing this, or Sarah's doing this. Hang on, what the hell's going on here? You know what I mean? Like they don't realise. Like they go,
There's
yeah, well, this is.
Yeah, it gets weird sometimes. It gets weird in your own.
Yeah, it gets weird for us because we're in this little bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, I believe we're in a social silence. Like, you know, getting up to, like I told a friend of mine, I got up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. to do a podcast. He goes, podcast? He goes, what are you doing? I go, yeah, I do too. I'm on this retro rave group, the 80s group. We talked to, how's this one? Last night, me and the retro boys, my retro group that I've been with for 12 years, there was a show called Countdown here, like Top of the Pops, or bloody what's over in America or whatever, American Bandstand, and we got the honor of talking to the voice of Countdown last night. He just came on and had a chat.
Sweet.
We were sitting there going, we got off and gone, did that just fucking happen? Like we got to talk to the voice of Countdown. For us, that's just like, other than the host, this guy was the second biggest guy on
you
Countdown.
You meet a lot of celebrities, Jit. I was showing my brother like your page or like, and he did some research. He did his little stuff. He was trying to look up like your wrestling stuff, and he's like, you know, my brother likes to investigate like computer stuff and like go on weird websites, and so he's like, wow, he's met so many celebrities. And I was like, yeah.
It was surreal. Like And the funny thing was, he's such a down-to-earth guy. He was a friend of mine on Facebook. And I've gone, oh, I'm just going to ask him. So I went and asked him, I go, g'day, mate. Big fan, la-da-da-da-da. We're on this group. Do you mind coming in and chat with us? He goes, yeah, no worries. I could have been some flake. But I'm sure he would have done his research. And I go, research, got, hang on, who's this guy? Oh, right, he's in this guy. And I said, mate, thank you so much for, and just, we sat there last night. We did a debrief. And we just gone, fuck, that just happened. And we're just shaking our heads. He goes, we was talking to the voice of Countdown. And we've been watching Countdown for like 12 years, all the reruns during summer, It's just this shit that's happening for us. I mean, voiceovers, this, die doing what shit. It's a surreal feeling sometimes,
Yeah. Oh, another synchronicity that popped up too, like talking about surreal feelings. So I've been talking to a guy. He's, I think you know him, Diana. Lawrence, I think I'm pronouncing his name right.
He's my friend. He's actually working on really good banners for my channel, and he did my logo. He's friends with Joy. Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, I gave him your information.
Joy.
I told him.
Yeah. So we've been chatting back and forth. And yesterday I mentioned to him that I was doing a life coaching program, and that I've been doing it for like way too long, and I should have been done it a long time ago because it's just like an online thing, right? And I should have been done it like months ago, but I just keep putting it on the back burner. So I have finishing my coaching program in my Motion app. So it's like it sets aside 2 hours a day for me to like get it done. So I told him about that, and I was like, oh, he's like, what are you doing for the rest of the day? And I was like, oh, I'm doing my coaching program. And he's like, oh, I'm doing a spiritual life coaching program. I'm like, mine's actually a spiritual life coaching program. We're actually in the same online program. And he lives in South Africa.
See, and I had a feeling to
he's like,
actually send him to you. Yeah. I gave him your name. He asked it about all the Ascended Masters. So here's what happened. And I said, you know what? It popped to me. I got the download. I was like, dude, I think Sarah, I think you should talk. I just had a weird feeling that y'all should talk. And So
we've been talking back and forth, and like we keep meaning to have like an actual like sit down chat and like meet on video chat or whatever, but stuff keeps happening. Like he's a little bit sick right now, so we were supposed to do it this morning, but and I ended up staying late crafting with the guys last night, so we both kind of were like, oh, let's reschedule next week when he's feeling better. But like there's so many weird synchronicities with me and him as well, which is like he's all the way in South Africa. Yeah. And like we're doing the same course. He's only like he was saying too, he's like, oh yeah, no, I keep putting it off as well. And like he's like, I should have been done it forever ago. And like we're both in the same boat with this course. Like I'm a bit further along than him, not that it matters, but like we're both like we're talking about it. I'm like, is it this one? And I like circled it on my phone, sent him a screenshot. He's like, oh my God, it's the same program. So It's like, I don't know. It's pretty.
Is it a life coaching course, Sarah? Is that a life coaching course you're doing?
It's just called Spiritual Life Coaching, and it's on that like training app. I don't know if you've heard about it, Udemy. And it's
I haven't heard that
one. So it's a bunch of different like teachers and course managers that can upload programs. So you can learn everything from like different coaching techniques and like different coaching programs to like how to program a computer, like how to use Etsy properly. Like there's so many different classes.
Oh, okay. So it's like a to-do thing. Yeah. I get where you're going.
It's like an educational app, right? So you can log in there, and then there's all these different courses, and you can pick IT, you can pick spiritual wellness, you can pick physical wellness, you can pick like crafting, creativity, how to be a better speaker. Like there's literally like thousands of different courses. And if you're someone who has a class, you can like upload your class and like sell it on the app, right?
What is this thing? I'm like, I think this is meant for me.
Yeah, I think it actually
What's it called?
Really good too. It's called Udemy. Udemy.
Because I've got heaps of courses because I've written a crap load of courses in the health and fitness field. So
if you've already got programs written, it's a good way to go for teachers to like sell their programs, right? If you want to get more people on your program, and it's a good way to like make money off of your lessons and stuff. So
yeah,
it's
I've got
and they do
a stack.
they do a bunch of sales and stuff too. Like I get
Are
about
they
three
videos,
times a
Sarah?
year.
Sorry, I've got heaps of questions. Are they
Yeah.
videos, or how do they work?
Oh
How do
yeah,
you?
yeah. So what it is every course there's resources. So it's like if you've got like the PDFs of like your written
Yep.
questionnaires and stuff like that. But then there's like the each class starts with a video of like the teacher talking. And you get into the
Okay.
lesson, like they express their lesson, and then you go into the resources page and you do like if there is like a PDF file that she wants you to do and like fill out, and then you go to the next lesson and it's her talking again. And then at the end of it there's you can actually get people to, like, if you want to do a certified or an accredited course, you can actually have people fill out an exam too and like test the exam and stuff like that, so that you
Because I've
get
got
your
all that stuff. I've been doing it for years. That might be. I'll have to look into that. I think we're meant to do that.
yeah, yeah, check that out. Here's another synchronicity for you.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
talking
it's all.
about
As I
that, and
said,
now
yeah.
it's something for you, right?
Because I'm doing like some short courses in life coaching, right? I don't want to be because I've got all that. Look, I think what we're going through, all of us have a story. And I think all we're going to learn is basically, I think the biggest thing is listening, but also them give our healing is what we're healing a lot of people doing what we're doing.
Well, that would be a great
And you could
class.
have you could have all these you could do all the hypnotherapy and all that. But way I'm going about it is more mentoring. And then I've got all you guys. I got Greg Riley, I got Michael there. You got Cortez who does his bit. Diana does her bit. You do your bit. I think I'm building this. I'm the central part. I've done it when I've done massage for years. And if I can't fix them, I always handball to someone else. I've always done that. There's a lot. I have my theories. I'll keep it to myself about how people, get money out of people, which is bloody disgusting in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think we'll be drawn to people to say the words or the healing, any type of healing. It's a healing side of things, whether, what doesn't matter what it is. But if I can't heal them or I know they need someone. So I said, right, I think Diana would be perfect for you because she's gone through X, Y, Z. So she'll have more of an understanding, and then someone might come in for a voiceover or say, oh, yep, I know someone in Canada who can do It's saying I can give what I can give to the person to help them. I might be the central part, but I've got all these great people, professionals that are training up in things that I don't need to train up in, but I can handball to them. And this is what you'll give. This is like the giving receiving type thing. So you can see the give and receive law there, because everyone wants to do everything. You can't do it. You've got to specialize in what you got to do your purpose, and then you can move on. Like you might say to someone, okay, I know Jay's into physical fitness. He's got a degree in phys ed. I know I can go to him for help in that way. So I think that's a great thing that we've all got, And even the semen retention thing with what Maddie was talking about last week in relationships, having Cortez and him connect somehow, they've got to connect. Because Cortez did not just do that semen retention for no reason. There's a massive, not a market, but there's a massive message in that for men.
Yeah.
He need that's something in there.
Is he still doing that?
As far as I know, yeah.
Now I know. Okay, I know he told me he did. I think he released once, but what it is the 21 day. Like we always told, 21 days to create a habit.
Yeah.
And the feeling of I've done it. All right, so I can tell you. We've had this discussion. Me and Cortez we talked for 2 hours about it once. It's gaining your power back in some ways and understanding that feeling of self-empowerment for a male. Okay. Yeah. And when you do release, you release because you want to, because it's just the way it is. It's like case if you're doing it for a reason, you're doing it because you're doing it and not giving away your power. Because a lot of guys give away their power with the release. I think. Now that I look at it, go, yep.
Which is really interesting that they are actually giving away their power, but they feel so powerful when it happens.
Well, they don't, but it's just the thing. Good luck to them, but then they're not really they're giving their power away. But if you do it on a mutual, in a mutual in a mutual agreement in some ways, where you go, this is what it's all about. Like Maddie said, sex has nothing to do with relationships in a lot of ways. I took that and gone, okay, it is, I believe it's part of it, but it's a choice between two people, and the two people should respect each other. You look at and then same thing with a woman who gives themselves to it. They should be giving their power away, or they shouldn't be trying to gain power from someone. Like guys try to gain power from girls try to gain power from men in that way. But it's a choice of being yourself as a soldier. And, you got that feeling of, I'm empowered by this because I know, it's nice that it's not that intimacy and everything's part of life and what mammals are, but you take the ego out of it and just enjoy it for what it is. And people should respect that, but don't give your power away in that way. There's a lot to it, but I believe I've changed my opinion and it made me grow as a person as well.
Yeah, that's good. So did you did you try the semen retention journey for a while then, or?
Yeah.
Did
6
you do
weeks.
the 21? Oh, you did 6 weeks. Sweet.
6 weeks and then stopped. Then, and then.
How did it feel? Just out of curiosity, how did it
that's
feel,
all right. Yeah, go for
it. When you went the 6 weeks and then that was over, like, how did you feel the first time that you released after the 6 weeks? Did it feel like, I wish I didn't do that? Or did you feel like didn't matter? Like,
no, look, I when it did happen, I gave my power back because I just thought I changed my attitude on it. I guess it's just where it was, what the situation, the way it was, Yeah. And then we going, this is cool and it's fine. And then went straight back into it because it was just a situation in life that where it was, that's it. And then went back to where I was because I knew I had that fear. It's like having that fear. It doesn't matter whether it's semen retention or changing your mind, changing your body, or your mind thoughts. You could go off that, but then you got that feeling for 21 days and go, this is really empowering and balancing. You go back to it. If you get where I'm going.
Yeah.
Because you did that journey, and then you go, and you understand the deep spiritual meaning of what you're doing, and you go back to that because that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
It's yeah. That's how it hasn't changed for me. I'm still in the same mindset before and after now. Okay. I see that because you look back on it when you're sort of back in that bloody tornado that you've been living, and you go, now I can see I wasn't in any self-empowerment. It's nothing about anyone else, about self-empowerment. And it all comes down to it, and all the nutrients that you lose and all that stuff, which Cortez will tell you all about. Yeah. And then you have to look at the intention as well. There's a lot of it. It's like intent, like what we're doing today, like what you said about your voiceover, the intent of using your voice that's come to you now. Now I believe the intent came, and now look what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's all about intent, man. Like, whatever you do it with intent. And if you don't have any positive intentions, then don't do the thing.
Well, and I also think it's like sometimes you want to go for it, and sometimes what stops people is they have the intent, but it's a fear of the unknown. They're like, I have no idea how it's going to work out. Oh, there's no logical way, but there's no logic in the universe. That's what I'm saying. It goes beyond logic. But if you can get out of your logical mind, and I believe that everything's magical, life's magical. I've seen crazy miracles happen, things I like, even with myself, with others. Yep. So I mean, anything is really possible. But if you just take the step forward, you don't have to just take, even if it's a small step, take a step forward into the outside of your comfort zone, right? And then the rest falls into place. Like I said, it's in alignment. I told you what I talked about earlier. What happened with me? I had no idea how half the shit in my life happened that like I was like, there's no chance. And even with the addiction, people say, oh, you're never gonna get out. You're gonna be like this your whole life. I was like, nah. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do something different. and the odds of that of beating that are very low, and even kind of like living through some of those experiences, like actually like literally surviving some of those experiences, you know, it's like just that, and even the YouTube thing, even changing your thing around, and like just everything. When I just say, you know what, I have no idea how this is gonna work out. I see no path in front of me. Even my present circumstance sucks because people are too busy focused on what's going on right now. But the way out of your circumstances, I always say, have a vision beyond your circumstance. I know it's possible. You don't even have to believe 100% it's going to happen, but can you believe, someone in a manifestation video said, can you believe it's possible? Yes, it is possible, and that kind of releases resistance. Even though if you don't 100% believe, it's like, it's possible, anything's possible, right?
Yep.
You're going to be a great counselor. You are going to be. No, seriously, I'm not talking shit here.
I won't get a degree though. I just want to go off my. I mean,
no. You're going to be a You're going to be a guider. You're going to be not this fucking degree bullshit. Because I mean, it's great to have a bit of paper, but what you've gone through and what you just said, you've actually gone from. We've all gone and got something bigger than a degree. We actually got our lives back, and people don't realise that half these bloody monkeys, they've got that.
They have the degree, but they don't have the life experience.
Well, I want to do transformational coaching. Like I advertise on my channel, I do advertise that, but I just haven't really put myself. I'm not really promoting. I'm trying to focus on my job and my YouTube. But I think once I build the audience on YouTube, it will come. I'm not, like I told you, I've talked to you. I'm not huge on like the selling, like going around finding people, clients. Right. That's not really. It's not that I don't believe it's possible. Just my energy is just, I'd rather build the audience on YouTube and the people that see my worth and see what I'm coaching. If you resonate with me, you already see my videos. If you want further, like, then hit me up. I'd rather do it that way. That's more my approach. I believe that's better. But part of me is like, no, you should do the coaching now and do this. But I can have my energy split that many different ways. You know, I don't want to put, so I think it will just come naturally, just like you guys said. When you put the attention out there,
it will. People will reach out to you and be like, "Hey, man, I like the way you are. I like your energy."
That's what happens when YouTube. Yeah, with a lot of the bigger YouTubers, right? Because I'm not a person that's going to go in groups and be like, "Hey, do you need coaching?" It just, for me, the energy that doesn't match my personality. I'd rather like, "Hey, if you resonate, cool, hit me up." Yeah.
The first thing that comes to my head. Sorry, Sarah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you could just like end your YouTube videos. Not even all of them, just some of them. Be like, hey, man, if you want to talk privately about what you're going through, I offer one-on-one sessions. Feel free to hit me up.
I do say it in my videos, and like I put it in my description, and I put transformational coaching because that is what I do, but it's just not necessarily. Yeah. But I'm just not going out there like. I'll be honest, I get annoyed when there's people that message me and I can tell it's the intent of they're trying to sell me something already. I don't like that energy, dude.
No, I don't need that either.
But not all coaches need to be like that, but I often get that. So that style, I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't chase, I attract. I'm just more like, hey, if I was relying on that for my income, then you're coming from a different place anyway. But because I have a stable job already, I don't really need it. I'm like, okay, hey, I say in my videos, I say, hey, I offer coaching. Email me for inquiries, whatever. I'm just kind of like putting it out there. Whoever comes. If you're ready, I'm here. I can talk. We can talk.
Guy, you know what you need to do? It's just come to me. You need to tell your story.
Yeah.
I've mentioned. You need to tell I've mentioned it in different videos.
No. You need to write. You need a structured autobiography of some sort.
Oh yeah. I mean, I already want to do that. Just I haven't really. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is you need to do something now that starts your autobiography. For example, the one I'm doing with Whitefeather, something on that level where you're getting your story out. Like people read mine, like I get messages going, wow, you're a deep romantic. I go, yeah, read between the lines. Right. There's that's really deep. What happened to you? All those kind of things. I think that you need to tell your story because you've got so much that we don't know about, that I think your story's going to not, and I'm not looking at financial or anything like that, but what I'm looking at is people who need to see you, need to know exactly what you've been through, and you've had such a, and some of the stuff you've told us, I'm thinking, wow, you've got through this, and you're still going through what you're doing, and I think your experience with what you're doing, Sarah's as well, what she's gone through, we can really do some that's why we're here together and what we've been through, but we've got to tell our stories. Like that's why I probably started with Whitefeather for me, is telling the story of what we do.
I
think
kind
that's
of
what
hold
I
back.
think.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll start to talk about some of my videos, but then I kind of pull. I mean, you have to understand also. This wasn't even too long ago, and sometimes I go too much into it. It kind of brings me back into like kind of a bad. I have to make sure I'm like good
Oh no,
emotionally because
what
I
I'm
can get
saying,
pretty
what I'm
triggered by it. Kind of like it wasn't that
yeah,
long ago. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't like
nah, that's
it wasn't that
fine.
long ago. Yeah,
What I'm
but I'm
saying is
getting
in the
there. Yeah, I'm
future.
trying to figure out what's the best way I can do that
Yeah, that's
in a
right. Yeah,
way
yeah,
that's more comfortable, but the best method. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I've
yes,
been
yeah.
thinking
Well, at least
even
you're
when I
in there.
went to
That's
that
good.
Reiki chick who did my Reiki instruction, she said the same thing. I was like, man, I don't fucking know. Now I'm putting pressure. Now I don't want to do any of it because it's like I don't know. I
I
don't know
was
Well, I
what's the
like,
got
best
told.
answer.
I
I
want
got
to put.
told.
Sorry, go
Sorry, keep
ahead.
going.
Okay,
No,
I
you're
was gonna
right.
say, for the longest time, like with me and my voice and like not sharing my story and not posting my videos, I was like, I felt like I had so much to say that I was overwhelming myself with
Yes.
like, how do I start?
Yeah. I
So I
don't
was
even know
like,
where to begin.
what do I know that I learned from my life? And I was like, oh, arthritis tips. And it's like people can get to know me by just watching and my story by watching that, because it's like these are tips from somebody that, like, you're not going to hear this stuff from a doctor. This is like parts of that I've picked up through living this life and living with this disease, right? So it's like I'm not necessarily going too deep into my own story, but I'm speaking, giving tips from like this. These are my experiences. These are things that I've done that no doctor has ever told me. I had to figure this stuff out on my own, or a naturopath told me after spending thousands of dollars with him. Like, you know what I mean? Not everybody can afford that. Not everybody has that time. Not everybody can do that. So to share my story in that way by giving people tips of like, hey man, my experience led me to be able to share these tips with you. And I feel like as I keep sharing the tips, I'll get a little bit more into my story, because like I have a whole list of like 30 different tips now that I'm going to make videos of. And some of them are like, that's kind of deep, man. Like that's like my own personal, like I went through hell to find that out. And that video isn't going to be like, here's 3 tips. This is going to be the one tip, because this is a big one. And it's like, I'm going to go into my story a little bit with those tips. And I think that might be a way for you to do it too, right? Like if you talk about the generalization of like addiction, and then some of the things that maybe like, these are the things that I did that you could do to like help get you there, help get yourself in the right mindset. Just talk about the things that you did to get yourself out of it, just by like giving lists of tips and stuff. You
Well,
know what I mean?
you
Like
want to know what the other
that
thing
way it
is?
like it
The
breaks it down,
yeah.
and it's like it's still personal, but it's not as deep and as personal. You know what I mean? And you can trickle down into however deep you want from that superficial layer. So I don't know. You already got some really good tips and stuff, but
Well,
if
my
there's a
thing
way you could
is,
work your own
it's my job though too,
experience.
man. I'm worried. Like I work for a bigger company, and I'm kind of like I don't want to put shit out. I don't want like someone to come across. I already had someone from my
Ah,
old job. I already
yes.
had someone from my old job. So I want, and that was a job that I was like bad at, right, or into all that shit. And I've already said, and it's fine. But I'm like, I'm not even secure enough to be like, hey, if for some reason they saw it, like, oh, it's cool. I'm a little. It's a little bit of that. That's part of the
Oh,
thing,
okay, yeah,
because I'm.
that
It's not
makes
like I'm
sense.
fully doing this as my purpose. If I did, I would say don't give a fuck. But it makes it
Yeah.
kind of like I don't want my. I still have to work at this job for a while until I'm a little bit, So I'm kind of. So I. That's
Yeah,
why
fair enough.
you'll see me. I've mentioned in some videos. I just haven't gone. There's a lot more depth to it. I just kind of like hold back because, and then I mean the relatives. I don't really care
No,
about them at this point, but I don't really care because I don't see them. But it's
With
like
that kind of thing, I feel like I kind of like I'm getting very triggered to like mention this. Like if you speak your truth
it was my
and you
past. It's not
speak
like it's now. Yeah, it was the past.
exactly
Yeah.
right, like that's a truth from your past. This is me sharing, or sorry, you like you could say this to your employer if they're like, hey, we saw this video. You could be like, look, I'm just trying to help people based on my experiences. That is a version of me that no longer exists. Obviously, I'm here. I'm working full time for you guys. These are the things that I do. My character. I want to help people that might have gone through the same things that I went through.
Yeah.
And if that makes it so that you don't want to employ me anymore, then I'm sorry, but I'm not going to not share my story because it makes you feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
It might just be me worrying. Like, I don't even know if that. If
I think you're just worrying too much, because the more you speak your truth, the more it will resonate with people, and it won't be seen as you're doing something wrong or you're doing something against the company, right? Like,
and it is like
you're not that anymore. You came a long way.
Yeah.
You should be proud to share that story. And if employers want to say you were a drug addict and we're going to let you go because of what you used to be, that's wrongful termination. They can't do that.
Unfortunately, Sarah, it goes like that, though. Unfortunately, because I work for the government, not that I do anything wrong, but I'm very, very careful about, I don't trust people. I'm very careful, and I see why Diana's doing it totally, because look at the stuff that I get into. It's not bad, but you got to be very careful with what you're doing. Like, even though I do the Village People Act, right? It's something very nowhere near what Diana's gone through. But say I was doing the Village People, I never told anyone because I'm bloody prancing around in a bloody Indian outfit. They think I'm gonna look like a bloody stripper, but I'm doing the bloody I'm dedicating my life. I'm dedicating this to the Village People. They don't realise that, because people are so narrow-minded in some ways, and they're judgmental. I just don't tell anyone what I do. If they see me at what might happen, Diana, you might see them at a charity event. Like, I see a lot of the kids and families at my charity events. They go, "Oh, do you do this? Do you?" And I'm dressed in the Village People outfit, and they go, "Yeah, I've been helping raising money for the Good Friday appeal. I, do a lot of charity work with Disability Victoria." Oh, geez, really? And you do the Village People? That's good. So you do YMCA and that for them? Yeah. Go Solar Foundation. So that, but what I wanted to say was, which what we will help you is, I'm just trying to learn. As hell at the start of the thing, I'm learning jump for the Billy Idol show, and I've got this riff that was giving me the shits. I actually gone, fuck this shit. I fucking hate this fucking song, bloody shit. I'm going off, and then I just released it, and then something came to me to modify it just slightly till I can get it right, to help with the teaching. It just came to me about 5 minutes after I released, and just released it. And I've gone, right now I've got more of a flow, and it's actually working a lot better now. So maybe we have to just more, go through what we're going through, and then get to a point where it's frustrating us, and then go, "Oh, fuck this shit. Fuck. And then the synchronicity comes.
Yeah, right. Speaking of synchronicities, back on the topic, something came up with me and a friend of mine. She had a really horrible synchronicity happen that shook her up, and she's got a concussion now because of it. It's a concussion that she needed to have, but I have to go treat her for light therapy because of it. So I've got to leave here in a couple of minutes. So I gotta say goodbye.
It's already been an hour and 17 minutes. Yeah, I want to get to editing some of my videos, but it was a good chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys want to, I've been fiddling with my deck of cards the whole time we've been talking.
Why don't you
shoot a card?
I can pull a one last message for the Live Theories viewers, and
how about we do that as a regular, Sarah? What we do?
We could do
Sarah's cards, Sarah's oracle cards, and we'll have music.
I have some
we'll
too,
end the episode with an
better
oracle card for the week, just to give everybody a message, one last message for our viewers for the week. And just to get.
While you're doing that, can I just do a big shout out to Christine Chandler? I got her book, The World You See. Jump on Audible and grab it. She actually got me to write down a love letter to myself. I wrote my hero story. I wrote a love letter to myself because we don't hear it enough. So, Christine, big shout out to you.
I told a client of mine to do that the other day too, actually.
Yeah, so writing a love letter to yourself, there's my tip of the day.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
And God, it's weird. And God, it's weird. Oh.
It is weird. It is an absolutely weird exercise. I did it on myself once. I've told a couple of my clients to do that now, actually.
I'm gonna do. You know what? I think I'm gonna do that. I did something like that in rehab. I'm pretty sure I did a bunch of long assignments. We had to read in front of the class. It was crazy, right? We had went to our parents ourselves. But I think I need to do one. I think that's a good idea, actually.
Awesome. There we go. So we got that one. Love. Thanks, Chrissy. No worries. Well, here we go. Oracle cards with Pixie.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
The gangster.
There we go. Okay, so you can see my card. We got the Seek card, everybody. It's beautiful. Looks like she's on a journey of like knowing and stuff. It's awesome. Let's get into this card. So she's got a nice lantern going. Looks like almost looks like a child walking through the woods, headed towards the nice full moon. So she's well taken care of. She's got her owl for wisdom on her shoulder. So it looks like she knows where she's going.
Can I cut in with the owl, Sarah? With the owl for the Native American teachings, the owl is the guide of the night. It's basically like the eagle. The spirit. The eagle is the spirit that looks after us during the day, and the owl is the messenger, and it also protects. It's how would we put it? It gives you the guidance at night. It gives you all the messages at night. It's like the keeper of the night with all those messages that come through. So it's a very big protector. If you've got one of those that come in, that's a big card for us.
This card definitely, it's interesting because as I was shuffling, this card popped up 3 times during this hour that we've been talking. So it's pretty interesting. And the number is 17 for all you numerologists out there. Goes into, adds up to 8, which is a phenomenal number. So let's go, here we go. So the actual definition of this card, I'm feeling very much like this, the group that's watching today, anybody needing this message, needs to know that they are guided and protected by Source, and there's other systems out there that are protecting you on your journey for seeking your knowledge. Synchronicities again. You guys might be seeking knowledge and stumbled across our video today, so that's pretty cool. So the definition is seek out study or hobbies that captivate you. When you actively seek out new information, you develop your memory, self-confidence, and creativity, improve your resourcefulness and motivation, and feel more positive. Fresh experience, know-how, and learning add value to your life. New knowledge is a reward in itself, and the time you invest finding your passions will bring you into contact with people who may share the same ideals as you. Learning something new can boost your enthusiasm and positive energy. There are many ways to learn. Self-teaching is becoming ever more possible due to online courses and instructional videos. Weird that we mentioned that a lot today. You can also find books that hold the knowledge you seek. If you commit 15 minutes an evening to reading, you may be amazed at how quickly you expand your mind. You can also listen to audiobooks when you're in transit, especially if you have a long commute. Interesting, this is all talking about stuff we've brought up today. Eliminate habits that are time wasters, or again, with the time management stuff. Eliminate habits that are time wasters or allow you to disengage Eliminate habits that are time wasters or allow you to disengage during the day. These might include watching endless amounts of television, playing video games, or pursuing social media. Be positive and passionate. Yeah.
All the things I mentioned earlier. Yeah.
All of them. This is a good card. Be positive and passionate. Yeah. Be positive and passionate as you seek your next area of learning. Aligning your desire to learn with a passion or interest will support your ability to stick with your study and achieve your goals. A cloaked individual with an owl perched on their shoulder holds a lantern and seeks for something in the dark. They travel under the light of the full moon. A cloak may represent something that is not seen yet. The owl can see through murky or dark conditions and pinpoint what is being sought. The lantern supports the act of seeking and reminds you to be vigilant in this endeavor. Regardless of what you choose to find or what you choose to do, finding information that supports your heart's desire is a solid first step. The affirmation with this card is, I am grateful for my ability to seek out new information.
Well, the owl for this one, right, there's 2 meanings of the Native Americans that they do. One is a symbol of death, but not in a bad way. It's basically the finish.
I feel like this is,
that's a finish, but he's guiding. Because what that is, it's like, as I said to you, it's like the spirit animal of the night. So it does also.
Well, I feel like it's guiding through the night into the new information, into the
That's exactly it. So, but it says here, it says in the negative, you're not grabbing your opportunities. You've got to make sure that you got to let go of fear when it comes to big opportunities. So that's a symbol. That's just a basic symbol, but also it's about purity. It's about cleanliness. Okay. In some tribes, it's about the death of something and the resurrection of you, but also it's the messenger of the night. It's like the guide. And if you see a white owl, it means it's guiding you through. It's a very powerful spiritual animal. And it's a lot of purity, a lot of cleansing, cleansiness, bit of power there. So it's a huge card.
Yeah. And comes from
it's one of my spirit animals. Would you believe that? And the wolf. Nice. Oh, there's our deck.
Yeah, it's the gratitude oracle deck.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
We've had a great chat, girls, as well. My soul sisters. I've loved it as per usual. Thank you so much again for everything. Very grateful for what we have. Sarah, you're doing the voiceover. As I said, I'm handing it over to you to practice.
All right, time for me to be quiet. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on this very awesome episode of Life Theories with Jay from Journey of a Whitefeather, Diana from Trailblazers of the Universe, Cortez from Spiritual Needs TV is not here with us today, but you can find him as well on your social media for all your semen retention and physical fitness type stuff. He's got lots of good stuff going on there, so sorry you missed him today. If you like what you saw today, give us a like, give us a subscribe, follow us, leave a comment down below if you have any questions for us. And if you want to join in on our chats, it's a good opportunity for you to join in there too. If you want to just mention in the comments what you'd like to chat about, we'll reach out to you. So thanks for joining. We'll see you again real soon, guys.
Have a good one.